This episode of the Esoteric Order of Roleplayers is brought to you by the generosity of our backers on Patreon. Go to patreon.com/esotericrp to find out how you can become a backer too. We create and broadcast these episodes live on native lands. We acknowledge these are unceded lands, with diverse communities maintaining connections to these places, and recognize their ancestors, their elders, both past and present, and future generations. Learn more by visiting the Native American Rights Fund website at narf.org. The Esoteric Order of Roleplayers present Ruins of the Lost Realm, a campaign for the One Ring role-playing game, with David Larkins as the Lore Master. There you go.
It'd be a fun game to play in Middle Earth. I didn't think we were going to watch friends die.
Hey, it's the end of the Third Age. Everything's ending.
All right.
I'll do and bloom from
Including
here on
life.
out.
Yeah,
Including life as we know it. Yeah.
life as we know it.
I did have to tell people that what inadvertently got me killed was you trying to help us, and how funny that was to me.
It was. It was. Oh no. I mean, I feel sad. I still feel sad. I'm trying to think of the last time a character death really, I haven't really had a lot recently. We haven't played in games where the stakes were that on that level.
Yeah. Usually we
Cupid-
play these, crunchy hippie games where everyone has to agree if a character dies before the character can die, right?
All right.
It
Look,
makes you feel better. I would have agreed.
I wouldn't have.
I
would
wouldn't
not
have
have.
been happy
Wouldn't
about
have
it.
been-
I'd have been sad, but I
Yeah.
agreed.
Yeah.
Stakes make the tension better. If there
They
are no
do.
stakes. There's
Yes.
Right. Well, speaking of that, I was trying to remember, Des in particular, did I have you roll to see if you picked up a shadow point from your cousin
Look.
meeting his doom?
God damn it. Why do you have
Sleeping
to
with the fishes.
Hey, literally.
Yeah, literally.
Okay, let's see here.
This would be a shadow test.
I don't think I did.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think you did either.
No, I'm not
All right.
seeing anything.
Please make a Valor test then.
All right. If I must.
You must. You must.
I must.
Let me turn this music down.
Here we go again. Where I'm like, something was said. How do I? Oh, there it is. Okay, got it.
So glad you're like that because I feel like
Oh,
every
no.
time I go to my shit, I'm like, what? How do I
It's
click?
Where am I?
yeah. It's Okay. Oh my God. Okay. No bonus dice. Just
Nope.
saw Marley put it in the chat. Sorry.
Sorry.
All right. Let's see here. It didn't go well, did it? Okay. God damn it, I failed.
Fail.
Okay. Yes,
Fail.
okay. I'm just seeing it. Failure with an
All right.
exclamation
So
point.
yeah. So emphatic. All right. So yeah, a very grievous occurrence, as the table here says, will gain you 1 shadow point.
Like you.
Yeah.
Where do I record that?
Great question. I have never had to record a shadow point myself.
Oh, good for
No,
you.
there's a shadow section there. It's under heart. It's kind of like
Got
bumping
it.
up against fatigue.
There it is.
Yeah.
I got it. Thank you
Fatigue
very
shadow.
much.
Looks like a German word.
Fatigue shadow.
Fatigen-Shadow. All right. So, yeah.
I'm sad.
Yes. Well,
It's allowed.
that is allowed. I'll allow it. So we had a week-long fellowship phase during which people recovered physically, if not mentally.
Not mentally.
And you got to know the residents of this cursed island who've been trapped here a little better.
Oh my God, we're
And
trapped on an island on
you
top of
are.
everything else.
You're trapped in these catacombs under an island. Even it's even worse.
Not even on the island proper.
Right.
You're in the island.
Yes.
Exactly. You're of the island.
You're up. Yeah.
You're an island hobbiter. Island
No!
hobbiter. Hobbit islander.
Right. So they
All
call
right.
the Dunedain who are dwelling on in these catacombs call this island the Last Stand.
Oh
And
God.
yes, and many of their number have fallen to the doom of Ninwheel. Now this wasn't just like a bunch of rangers. These were like families, you know, they were gonna settle these islands basically. And so you've got some young ones and some teenagers and the older folk.
Teenagers still look like 40-year-olds, right? I mean,
Teenagers who look like teenagers with like full beards.
they're like the Armenian guys we used to go to high school with,
That's
right?
right, exactly.
Full on beard. and
Every bit as
mustache.
handsome and
Yeah.
bearded.
Exactly.
And so I guess among those numbers is a ranger, though. There are several rangers, but among them is one that you have perhaps hit it off with, bonded with a bit over the last week. Who is this? Who is this plucky up and comer?
He's 13 or what?
No. He's a slightly not 13. No, he's older. He's
Is he? No.
yeah. We're gonna go with an older character, not a kid this time.
Oh.
Yeah, he is a ranger, another Dunedain.
Mhm.
Older fellow, dark black hair that's pulled back in a ponytail. What was probably once a very well kept beard, except they've been trapped here and he hasn't had access to a lot of abilities to keep himself looking good.
Mhm.
Sallow features, again, kind of just because of where they're living right now. And his name is Silamir. And I can imagine you guys probably bonded over shared grief. He also lost people during this coming to the island and dealing with
Yeah.
everything that's been happening. He lost a child here.
Oh
And
God.
so seeing this very fresh grief coupled with he's been fighting to survive, keep his people alive, and now more people arrive with fresh grief, and it just kind of is a bonding experience.
Yeah.
But otherwise, he's a strong older ranger. He's a captain, or at least was a captain, some kind of leader of men. I did do a little bit of leveling up. Do you want to go over that now?
Nice.
David, or do it?
Sure.
Okay. All I did was he leveled up his valor and wisdom, so he's got 2 in each of those. When I rolled on the random charts, but the one that's interesting to me is he has royalty revealed. Is one of the wisdom virtues. It's a specific Dunedain one. So mechanically, it allows him to once per combat use the rally comrades as a secondary action. Plus, all members, including him, become inspired on all their rolls the following round. But narratively, it's just a direct tie to the royalty of who they used to be. But
Who they used to be before this excursion to the island?
yes,
Okay.
yeah, or like his whole bloodline,
Okay.
because he has a sword,
Mhm.
and his sword has the pommel of it. It has an engravement that shows like he's from a royal bloodline. So whenever somebody knows that and sees it, it's kind of like a status symbol.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so he before you guys got there, he had kind of sunken into himself, become sullen, as these folk are wont to do nowadays.
Mhm. Yeah.
But seeing new people arrive and seeing this fresh wave of like life come back and realize like this is not where we need to end. We need to step up. We need to get off this island. We need to survive,
Okay.
so that we can keep my people alive.
Mhm.
It's kind of galvanized him. So he's been working with you guys.
Nice.
Very cool.
Okay. Well, speaking of working together, please feel free to start brainstorming some ideas how the hell you're going to get out of here. You got 2 boats to work with.
Why are you pushing on it? What, dude?
It's
Did we
on
have
you.
a proper memorial for?
Yeah, you
for
wrote a
Finn?
song. You wrote a walking song. That's a bit of a
Oh, that's
in
right.
memoriam. You know.
So we haven't been walking anywhere, so I haven't been able to sing it and feel better about.
True.
I'm so mad. I'm sorry. I'm so
How many
so-
people do we have here?
Yeah. So what's the total
Survivor.
people? Yeah.
Ooh, that's a great question. I don't know if they actually say how many. Let's see here.
Well, we need to know.
Yeah, I'll look. I mean, it's
This is like all hands on deck. A handful.
At least a handful. Okay, let's see here. A group of survivors composed of about a half dozen families. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So fair amount of folk. Let's see if it says how many of them have died. Let's see. They suffered many casualties and are currently in a wretched state, trapped, starving, and nursing serious injuries. So, I don't know, 50% casualties, maybe, something like that. And the sort of de facto leader is a woman named Kellerwen,
Right.
limping and ashen-faced. She has inherited the position of leader in the group after the recent death of the previous chieftain, Targon.
What do we have by way of like spies or tools or
Mhm.
things?
Not a whole lot. You know, you have the rations that they brought along and that you brought along yourselves, that they're rationing out even more so. The water from the lake is potable, so that's not an issue. Although anytime, you know, people have to go out to refill your barrels, it has to be like this whole ass war party with torches and spears and stuff, just in case this thing pops up out of the water, because guess what? It can like kind of pull itself along the land like a lungfish, basically. So you're not even necessarily safe on land.
Why do you gotta do that, man?
I didn't make this encounter. This was in the book. I didn't write this. Don't blame
Well,
me. I'm just the conduit through which
I'm
this
blaming you, man.
world is being presented to you.
All right. What is the terrain? What's the terrain like of the island, and
Hmm.
what is, like what are the things that we have there? Are there any known poisons?
Any known poisons? Well, that sounds like a roll, and I can make a little screen grab of the drawing of the island. At least I won't even call it a map. I won't dignify it with that. No, I'm kidding. It's just kind of a sketch.
Sketch of the place. Yeah.
Yeah, a sketch of the place. But yeah, as far as rolling to identify any poisons, I mean, there's definitely what do we want to say? Plant life. But let's see. Maybe I mean, we could go with travel or scan. You know, these would be things that would enable you to look for dangerous plants while you're out in the wild, you know. So
Would healing help with that, or hunting?
I mean, hunting might be good. Yeah, you could go with hunting.
Okay. I'm gonna try.
Okay.
Really try. I'm gonna use a hope point because
You hope you can get off this island.
yeah, and then some. Okay, that is another failure. I'm just getting these out of the way for you all.
Right.
So
Just clearing it out.
yeah, clearing it out so we can do much better with other roles. So I'm just so despondent.
Yeah.
There's nothing here I can identify that looks familiar or could be seen as poison. Although I do start gathering rocks. Do start gathering little pebbles to like throw at things.
Excellent.
I'm not having a good time. Very upset.
I think Heleth would be trying to figure out, like, because, like, I mean, he's got 2 in battle, so he understands, like, tactics and stuff. If we're just trying to get everybody off this island and onto shore, that's one thing. If we're trying to like leapfrog to a different island and then from there trying to get to shore, that's another thing. But like, I feel like there has to be some kind of conversation of, because his mind is immediately going to something like, well, we're going to have to cram as many people as we can on one boat, then use a bunch of Trojan horses essentially on the other boat to distract the big giant fish thing to allow the second boat across. But that's only going to get you one run if you're lucky.
Right.
And I don't think everybody can cram onto one boat. So
right.
it's really a matter of how desperate are these people to get off this island, and how can we lure the thing somewhere where we can allow them time to escape.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm
So
looking
I'm
at
posting.
these inlets. Yeah.
So the first one is.
Stand.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, well, that's what they call it. That's what they've named the island. So that's the one you're currently inhabiting. You can see a little cove there. The second one shows the 3 other islands that you guys either visited or spotted. You went to the Bleak Cove, and that's where you found the that's where you found that other boat. And I guess you do technically have that third boat that you had repurposed out of the pier and you left behind at the Bleak Cove. The Gray Spire is the one with the very high natural rock spire. The Wrecking Cross is the first island you spotted that you went around because there's really nowhere to land on that one. And then there's a 5th island that you have not visited, but the Dunedain, they went to the right, you guys went to the left when you first saw the Wrecking Cross. So they ended up on the False Haven, which they have named because that was where they initially landed, because it's a very welcoming looking island. It's got a small sandy beach, and just looks nicely wooded. When they were exploring it, they found the remains of an old lodge, like maybe summer lodge from long ago when these islands were peopled by the nobility who dwelt on the shores of the lake once upon a time. But then they were attacked. That's where they were first attacked by this thing. They jumped in their boats and tried to escape, and they ended up on the island you're currently on.
So what's the closest mainland? Like how close are we to the mainland?
The mainland is to the south. Both you and the other party approach from the south.
And just to be clear on this, and so Helith, you want to, like, your mission is to retrieve these folks, right? Correct?
Oh, absolutely.
That's your mission. Okay. Oh my God.
And I think Cillian would actually take, or Silumir would actually take a opposing view, is not retreating. It's running is what got us here in the first place. We ran when we landed the first island. We ran to here, and we died by ones and twos. If we want to fight and set up an ambush, we know this thing can make it to the beaches where it will be at an inherent disadvantage. If we hide our numbers amongst the cliff faces, have arrows rain down upon it while the front line keeps it distracted, we can cut it off from making it back to the water by using torches.
Yeah.
There are things we can do to mitigate its advantages.
Okay.
I also have battle too.
See here.
So,
but I think if that conversation comes up, hearing that and like maybe Helith kind of offers some suggestion like that, and if Silumir like kind of agrees, it's kind of like, that's right, yeah, like the experienced ranger says, this is a good idea, so I kind of feel a little bit better about myself. But it's I mean, if we've got the numbers, we get it on the beach somehow, even if it's someone standing in the water at hip deep and just splashing Jaws style to try and get its attention, that might be enough. But it's something like that, because there's no way the civilians are going to be able to cross safely otherwise.
Okay, so this is all happening. I feel like, so I'm envisioning us, are we like around, like we're in the catacombs, maybe around some type of a fire or something that's able to vent. I don't know. Smoky catacomb, having this conversation, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And in fact, if we want to go full out, there are actually mechanics for holding a council where you try to convince the greater number of people of your plan and like how they can help. aka the Council of Elrond, and et cetera, et cetera. So could go that far if you wanted to.
Yeah, maybe so. Oh, I like that.
Depends on the plan
Oda
you
is like
come up
bent
with.
on vengeance. Oda wants to kill his fish.
Oh, okay. Are you stating that, or are you just being a quiet badass, like observing the conversation?
I think I'm probably just like observing and watching the conversation go that way.
Mm-hmm.
And then if somebody's like, "What do you want to do?" I'm gonna be like, "Tie a rope to me. Let me go jump in the water right now." And you have to be like, "No."
So I will say, like, when Oda, when you express that, I'm excited by that because I do want to like avenge Fen somehow. And so I'll say in my little hobbit voice, I'll say, well, I'm very nimble and I could run away quickly if you need someone to distract this beast. I can splash in the water and I'll be able to run away quickly. So I'm like looking like this is a viable
dice.
This is like hey, I'm just playing it. Like, I'm not scared. Like, my valor is, what is my valor? I'm looking. My valor is 2. And so I feel like I want to do something, I want to help. And so I'm looking at everyone like this is a good idea, like, right? Like, even though, I mean, so yeah. So I'll say that. I'll suggest that to the group.
So we've seen this thing actually come up onto the land out of the water, right?
Yes, you have, yes.
Okay.
You were attacked that way initially, actually.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
So if what we can do is lure it actually into the land itself, we can have someone set up.
Gotta be weaker, right, on the land?
It's
Absolutely.
definitely not as nimble.
And we can have someone set up some kind of something behind it with fire to keep it from retreating back into the water. It's more afraid of fire than it is of anything else.
True.
And so that'll keep it on land with us.
Do we have like rope to make nets or some type of a restraint?
Yeah,
Lasso?
I'd say you definitely would. Yeah.
I was going to suggest setting one of the boats on fire.
Ooh.
I like that, and I was thinking too because there's trees on the island. Like,
Yeah.
instead of a net, anchoring a big, essentially like a spear, right? Like we can get a log and sharpen it, and at least impale it. We don't have to kill it, but if we can have that tied to like a tree or a rock, that it can't retreat back into the water.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like that idea too. Okay.
All right.
So, what does Helith think of this?
He's of 2 minds, I would think. He's probably not as, how do I want to put this? Trying to articulate. So he's not as vengeance minded as Oda. Like, Oda is very much like, this thing needs to die. His friend was killed. He wants to do damage to it, but he also understands that this is not necessarily just about vengeance for this group. It is about getting all of these other people out. And so for him, he's all about any plan that involves the ambush. He probably feels it needs to be sooner rather than later. And I would imagine, kind of from his perspective, even if we injure it, even if we damage it enough where it goes away for a little bit, that would buy enough time, he hopes, for the civilians to get away. He's not about pursuing it until it's dead. He's okay with just driving it off until everyone can get back onto the mainland.
Okay.
I wonder if we trapped it on land, it would die on its own.
Yeah, I'm thinking
Still
that
a fish.
Right. That's what I'm thinking. That if we keep it there long enough,
And if we do kill it, we remove the threat and make it so that everyone can get off this island.
Okay.
Also, fuck that fish.
The fish has taken much from us as well. I understand your pain. No one wants to see a dead more than me.
Fair.
Okay. Okay, so I think we're gonna do the stabby fire distraction
And
strategy.
We have several adults that are still alive.
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
And I know a lot of them are injured, but can they at least use bows? Can they stay up high
Sure.
and okay.
All right. So, yeah, let's do the council since we're trying to get everybody on board with this plan.
Right.
Okay. So, yes, as it says here, councils represent social events of extraordinary importance, gatherings vital for the success of the company's aims and goals that can be influenced by how they behave. The rules presented in this section should not be adopted for every verbal exchange between the company and lore master characters, blah, blah, blah. Okay, to qualify as a council, a meeting must be a formal gathering during which the stakes are high, and depending on the outcome, the company stands to win or lose something valuable. To achieve their goal in the council, the company must achieve a number of successful rolls matching the resistance value set for the council. To accomplish this, the participating player heroes have a limited number of attempts at their disposal, aka their time limit. Okay. So, right. It's been about a week since your encounter, and after many whispered planning sessions, in between resting and preparing, crying and preparing weak stews and whatnot, which makes you cry even more.
Yeah. The food situation is not good for a hobbit right now.
It is not good.
It is bad. Badness.
You gather all of the surviving Dunedain and rangers together and present your plan. Kellerwyn sitting and listening as the sort of de facto leader of this band that you are attempting to influence. So we are going to set the what do we call it? Resistance. Okay. I am going to say this is a bold request. We have a reasonable request, a bold request, and an outrageous request.
Why is this bold? This feels reasonable. They want to get off the island. We want to kill this thing. It seems reasonable.
A reasonable request.
They're also incredibly disheartened.
That's true.
And don't want to do anything. So the fact that we're going to be like, hey,
relatable,
so
yeah.
I know you don't want to sit. You want to sit here and be depressed, but like we have this idea to go do a thing. I think that's going to be the hardest part. Is not necessarily getting them to agree, but getting them to do anything. I think it's going to be the hardest part.
Exactly.
What did you say, Marley?
So whip them into shape.
That's right. Exactly. We're going to have a montage.
As it says here, a reasonable request is one where the encountered folk do not lose anything by helping the player heroes. Well, obviously,
they stand to lose quite a bit.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Okay, so who will be the spokesperson for the company?
What is the skill again? I guess you get to pick a good skill that you can use.
Yes, you can pick between awe, courtesy, and riddle.
What? Not in hearten or persuade?
That comes later.
Oh, so wait, repeat which ones?
So at the beginning of a council, the company must present themselves. To do so, the company elects a spokesperson, possibly taking full advantage of their best speaker. To introduce the company, the spokesperson must make a skill roll. The roll result determines the time limit of the council, that is, the total number of attempts that the player heroes are granted as a group to present their case. And then, you can use awe if you want to convey a powerful message using few words. Courtesy is a polite introduction to smooth a relationship before asking for support or other form of assistance. Or riddle, if you have doubts about the opposite party's intentions, you can craft questions and answers in a way so as to extract a lot of information from others in exchange for very little. That's the TED Talk approach.
Oh my god.
I have a 3 in riddle.
I have a 1 in courtesy and nothing in anything else. So you don't want him speaking.
And nothing in anything else.
1 in awe.
A 3 in riddle, but I think I have a 2 in awe.
Oh.
Yeah.
Whoa.
It's pretty awesome.
Awesome. How about Melly? What are you working with?
So I have a 3 in riddle as well, and it's one of my notable traits. But I have not been rolling well, and I like the idea of Oda stepping up and being the face right now because I'm so sad. But I do have I have riddle and I have a 2 in courtesy, so I can back up with the courtesy. Hey, nicely, kind of being nice about it. But I feel like Oda, the 2 in awe and in the 3 in riddle, I think that's kind of bolsters. I know they're not using them together, but it just to me as a character just seems like Oda would be the best face. For
It does note here that a poor performance, if you're using riddle, i.e., a failed roll, is sure to provoke mistrust in the opposing party. Whereas courtesy is particularly useful if the company is already on friendly terms with the opposing party.
Okay.
Do you want to go, Melly? And then if what you do doesn't work, I'll come in with some riddle on him.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's so you get one shot at this.
No, it's like we can't back each other up.
Nope. It has to be one spokesperson making one roll.
I feel like you got all the
we
bad
get more
rolls
things
out.
later on, I think, 'cause this is just the introduction. So we
Yes.
probably have more stuff after this.
Yes, you do.
Okay.
Sure. Okay,
And you
start.
can use riddle during that portion as well. So
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is just establishing how long we have, how long they are tolerantly listening to us before they decide whether or not they're going to help.
that's
All right, and
right.
I look like the saddest. I mean, I look like the saddest one. So
Oh,
they'll
that's
like,
true.
She goes and drenches her hair a little bit, so she looks even wetter and
I look even
just
more
yeah.
bedraggled, throw
Puts
some
on your
dirt on my face.
non-waterproof mascara, lets it run a little bit, you know.
That's right. I'm even more sad. Sad
Looks like a
Hobbit.
bedraggled Lois Lane kind of.
Yeah,
vibe.
exactly. Here we go. So I look very sad, and I'll say, hello, Rangers. I know that you have experienced much hardship being on this island, and my hope is that we can help you move from this island and helping our friend Haleth move everyone off so that you can lead better lives away from this place and start to heal. Okay, and so that's what I'm saying. I'm going to roll my
Okay.
courtesy.
All right,
I
go
am
ahead and give
using-
yourself one bonus die. If
Okay.
you want to add another one from a
Oh.
point of hope, that's perfectly
Oh, I
fine.
am. I'm
Okay.
doing that. That's happening. Okay, so I have 2. Oh, God damn it. All right, submit. All right,
So-
I make it. Great success.
So Keller, when you can see she's like maintaining eye contact with you the whole time, her eyes are brimming a little bit. You know,
I'm
she's
so pathetic. I love
suffered
it.
loss just as much as everyone else here, if not more
Yeah.
so. And she says, "Very well. Let us hear your plan." So,
Oh,
with your great success, you have what they term a time limit of 5, which means you get to make 5 rolls as a group. You get 5 chances here to convince them of your plan. So,
All right.
we're gonna go in whatever order you guys want to go in. Just like Des did, you'll kind of just give me an idea of what your speech is, or you can do the whole speech if you want. Yeah, as it says here, the players choose their own course of action as they see fit, but their skill rolls can be modified by the attitude of the people they encounter. So I'm going to say that they are friendly because they are willing to hear your plea and are very interested in what you've come up with. So you will gain a bonus die on all of your attempts.
okay.
And then, yeah, the skills that you can use are in Hearten. And this is an attempt to raise the spirit of an endangered community or that of a downcast leader. The objective of the skill attempt must be obvious. Otherwise, even if the roll is a success, its effect will be weak. Weak. You can use insight to evaluate the emotions of who the company is interacting with, possibly revealing unspoken purposes or hidden feelings.
Ooh.
You can use persuade, of course. Use your persuasiveness to win the minds of your listeners or strengthen their hold on an already captivated audience. Unlike in Hearten, this persuade may be used discreetly. Riddle can be used in a social environment either to formally play the ancient riddle game, practiced and respected even by the unlikeliest of wicked creatures, or to gain information and news. In the latter case, a successful riddle roll allows a player hero to put together all sorts of tidbits that incautious speakers might accidentally give away in their conversation, or simply to gather interesting facts, all while seeming to appear uninterested or unconcerned. And song. A good song or tune is almost never out of place at a relaxed social gathering, but they can also be powerful diplomatic devices if the singer finds the proper song or intones well-chosen words. So once we reach that time limit of 5, we then compare your number of successes to the resistance value,
Oh man.
And we see whether you succeeded or not.
Okie dokie.
Mm-hmm.
So how do we want to present this? What would be the best way? Do you think? I mean, we have two, Dunedain Rangers here. You would know how to talk to these individuals, I think, a little bit more.
Lore-wise, yes. Mechanically, not so much.
Both mechanically and lore-wise.
That was
Silumir,
Okay, that was my assumption.
Silumir is going to try and steal their resolve.
Okay.
For too long have we been on the back foot, and we have the blood of heroes in our veins. This is not what we do. We don't cower in caves and run from monsters. We run towards battle. We protect people, and our families are here, and they need to be protected. The only way we're going to get them off this island and to make this area safe is by killing this monster. And he's going to try and hearten everybody, get them back into their fighting spirit.
Okay.
Nice. All right, so go ahead and give yourself an additional 2 bonus dice. So that's 3 bonus dice total, and if you want to spend a point of hope, that would make it 4.
Yeah, sure. And I'll absolutely do that. And that is one of my favorite abilities.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yay. And a rune.
Seed success.
Okay, great. So, yeah, we're counting the number of successes, so that counts as 2 because it was a great success. I've lost the writing implement, so bear with me
Oh my
here.
god.
Yeah, because you only get 5 rolls, but the resistance is a 6, so you need to score multiple successes in order to hit the resistance.
So does mine
value.
count as 1, right?
Huh?
Yours doesn't
Mine-
count toward the the whole thing. It is the opening. That gave us the time limit to work in. Now we have to do the things
All
in the
right.
time limit.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Well, good job, Marley.
Yeah.
One down.
Mighty fine
5 to
speech,
go.
sir.
I roll dice good, yay.
Roll dice good.
Hey man, I don't take it for granted. that-
No, it's a skill sometimes.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. That counts as 1 success. So we have
No,
to get
no.
6.
2.
It counts as
Counts
2.
as 2.
It counts as 2 success. And so we have to meet 6 or 7. Like we have to
6.
get
6.
one above.
6.
Oh, meet. Okay, meet it. Okay. I'm just so nervous. All right. I have to say that this is the most nervous
We
I've
only
been
need
playing any game.
One more success per roll, and we're good.
That's right. You can't afford any failures.
Yeah,
but-
we got 4 choices, 4 chances.
Yes. So who wants to go next?
Now will be the time to bring in your riddling and your courtesy. And
Yeah.
Yes,
The whole thing is a wash.
What? What was the first part of your question?
If anybody fails from here out, we lose it.
Basically, yeah. I mean,
Okay, just checking.
yeah.
well, unless we get some people
pressure.
can get multiple successes too. It's
True,
fine.
True. I mean, theoretically, someone could roll 4 successes on one roll.
Well,
Yeah.
You know.
Okay.
John sounds skeptical. Yeah.
Well, I'm just looking mechanically. I have nothing in any of those.
Right.
The only thing I have is insight, which is no bonus die, but it is one of my favorite skills. So,
Okay.
so I think Palace is probably gonna sit back and wait for everybody else to go before. I mean,
Sure.
unless we're saying he's using his insight to like gauge the crowd or whatever while things are happening.
Yeah.
But
Well, I mean, Silamar's speech was impressive,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And so, I mean, again, so I have riddle. I have a 3 in riddle. I have a 2 in courtesy, and
Courtesy
but-
wasn't one of the ones they
Oh,
named.
shit.
How's
Riddle
your song?
and in
Riddle.
Hearten.
How's
right?
your song?
Martin,
Song
yeah.
is 2. Song is 2.
Song is 2. If you
It's
sing, if you sing the song of a fugue for Fenn's fugue,
Ben Teague.
that might be helpful. You know, could do that.
I feel like that has to come in like after we've said like this is what the cool
Mm.
plan is, and everyone's like, oh, scared of the plan, like, oh shit, this is gonna be a
Right.
lot.
Right.
And then I'm like, la, and I sing my little fugue, like think
Yeah,
of my
yeah, yeah.
my Hobbit cousin who died, please, and maybe think about all the people that you've lost, like But I feel like that has to come after we go. This is what this cool plan is,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I'm into it. I like
Mhm.
that.
I have the 3 in riddle, but it feels so icky to try to use riddle in this moment. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, so riddle is to just ask questions, right? And be to ask questions, correct?
Yes. Yeah, you can either use it literally as a riddle game, like that you would play with Kellerwin, or it can be used to gather information, allowing you to put together all sorts of tidbits that incautious speakers might accidentally give away in their conversation,
Oh.
or simply to gather interesting facts, all while seeming to appear uninterested and unconcerned.
Yeah, I mean,
Well, could riddle be, because I have a high riddle too. So could I be like what resources do we all have? How much like courage do you all have? Like the courage, the tools, the resources, the people power that we need to like make this
feels
happen.
like motivational interviewing to me.
That's the TED
You
Talk
enjoy
thing.
being on this island.
Exactly.
Right.
Are you prepared to live
What are your
here
goals?
forever?
Where do you see yourself?
Let
In
me
5
ask you all a
years.
question.
Come on, guys, sit down, take a knee.
Yeah, let's let's lean into this. I mean, those would be the questions that I would cut. Like, if I were to use riddle now, I'd be like, well, what do we have? Like, what do we have at our disposal that we can use to like take the motivation from what Silumir said, and then like,
Right.
and what do we actually physically have here? That's what I would ask if I were using riddle. But I don't know if we want to do that at this point.
Sure. I mean, that seems like a good play.
Oda, what do you say? What do you have to say? What are your thoughts? What do you want to use anything or?
Are you talking to me?
Yes.
I so strategically in the game, I feel like riddle makes the most sense because I've got the 3.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess in the context of like a motivational interviewing, like reverse psychology type of a thing, it could work. It just feels kind of
Yeah.
feels like what we would be doing is trying to like persuade, but I only have a 1 in persuade or a 1 in
Right.
song as the only other 2.
I'll do the
Okay.
persuade next if you want me to.
Well, and it even says here that like riddle can just be you listening quietly, which seems very dwarfish. You know,
It does
you're just
actually. Yeah.
puffing your pipe and
Observing.
listening. You know,
Got it. Like what
And
other
then-
people are saying. So David, I guess in
Right.
this case, we would need to know like what people are murmuring or saying or sharing in the
There's
group.
like there are practical questions concerning risk and injuries and whether people are even fit for this level of a push, you know, or whether it would be just hastening your doom, essentially. So, you know.
Okay.
I'll use riddle just to like I'll act like I'm observing
Yeah.
like everyone else, but I'm also just like soaking in,
Mm-hmm.
but not in like a sneaky way.
Right.
In a dwarfy like way.
Yeah.
Like sitting with the pipe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
All right, sounds good. Remember, you get a bonus die to this, and you can spend a point of hope if you want an additional bonus die.
Or
Extraordinary!
Holy
success!
crap!
Oh,
So that's 3 more, so we're up to 5.
You're up to
Right?
5, and you get 3 more chances here to hit that 6.
okay.
I want a pipe. I'm gonna get a pipe for this.
You better,
Need a
yeah.
pipe. Yeah. Nice.
What type of pipe would Oda have? That's what you need.
I know.
It'd be a
cool.
long-stemmed dwarf pipe, and it would be like very. What is the? I can't remember the. There's a meme that I've seen where it's like, neo-gothic is what dwarves make, neo-classic is what elves make, or whatever.
Mm.
I can't remember what the 2 styles are, but I feel like it would be probably very blocky and probably very, but like.
Oh, right.
You know, like you could drop it
Oh.
on the ground from a great height and it wouldn't break, right? Because
Yeah.
dwarves don't make things to break; they make things to last forever.
Yeah, I think the meme was elves do Art Nouveau and dwarves are Art Deco.
That's it. Yes, that's
Yeah.
the one.
Right.
I love that.
Lots of chunky, blocky,
Chunky, yes.
yeah.
Interesting
Chunky
angle.
yet streamlined.
Yeah.
All right. Great.
Yeah,
well, that's
Oda.
an excellent
Awesome.
outcome. So, yeah, who's next? Do we want to try the song before we do persuade, or do you want to do persuade first? What do you think?
I don't know. What else do we like? How is the crowd receiving all of this? And like,
I mean, you're definitely seem to be winning them over, but I can't tell you until you've run through all of your chances yet.
oh, I can start singing my song if that feels good. But unless someone else wants to roll persuade or anything, like I'm fine with it. Oh God, I'm scared. Okay, so I'm using hope. I'm using a song. And we're just gonna do this. Do I have any other bonus die?
You get the 1 for just them being more receptive, and then I'll give you an additional 1 since it does have some personal meaning for everybody.
So that's 3. Here we go. Okay, that's a success. Oh, thank God. Okay.
All right.
Oh my God.
Excellent.
Jesus.
Excellent. So a regular
so
success.
I start seeing the Fuga Fen and choking back tears and hopefully making everybody else cry. That's the hope.
Indeed you do.
Good.
Yes. So between your speeches, your enheartening speeches, and careful observations, and finally hitting them where it hurts, right in the heart, you win over the Dunedain, and Kellerwin announces that they will abide by your plan and help in any way they can.
Okay. Yeah.
Well done.
So I look at Oda and I nod excitedly, like, we're gonna do this. Like, it's gonna happen. So, all right, I'm excited.
Indeed.
Okay.
Okay.
So very nerve-wracking.
Councils can be. It's a lot of fun, but it can absolutely be nerve-wracking when you're like, okay,
yeah,
we really need this, guys.
It does a good job of like my
last time we really needed it didn't happen.
My home group met Radagast, and you do a council for like major figures, and so they're like the way the mechanics work, it actually kind of feels like you are in front of those figures while you're doing it, so you're all kind of nervous. They're like, oh God, what is he gonna think? We can't make fools of ourselves in front of the wizard or whatever. So
yeah.
I like the way mechanically it makes you feel like it really matters what you roll, and it really has an effect. If you had failed excuse me, if you had failed the time limit stuff, I think the base is 2 or 3 rounds total, so you'd have 2 or 3 rolls period to get and we would have probably been okay with the way we were rolling, but a normal group, if you're just going for a few successes and you only get 2 or 3 rolls to do it, is almost impossible. Depending on how willing they are to hear you out. So it could get really nerve-wracking.
Yeah. If you were making an outrageous request, you need 9 successes. So
oh my God. Okay.
Yep.
All right. Well, we're all on the same page. And so
yes.
Then
all right. So let's review the plan then, because there were a lot of parts being kind of thrown out there. So I want to know the whole. How does it all add up together?
Okay. My understanding is we want to lure the fish onto land, wherein we would be able to stall it through stabbing it in some way, and then restricting it from going back into the water, and so then everyone can escape and lure them. Then we could also there was mention of a fire too. So what else does everybody else how else are people thinking about this?
What I was kind of envisioning is have somebody lured into the beach, and then have a boat. We float behind it, or have somebody bring a boat, or pull it, maybe attach a rope to it or something, and pull it across, and light the boat a flame behind it in the bay, so that it's less likely to try and retreat that way. And then the people that are fighting it on the beach, we can have it try and flank it again with torches or something to keep it up on the beach while we try and take it out, and have the injured rangers or anybody that can fire a bow up way out of the way on the mountains or the cliff faces above us, shooting down at it.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds great. I mean,
How many eyes does it have?
Lots.
We have more
I
arrows than
heard
it has
that.
eyes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Aim for the eyes. Got it. Okay. Anything else? How are you planning to lure it, I guess would be another question.
Oh,
I think
I
Hal
know
would
he-
volunteer.
Offered.
Oh,
Well,
Helith
if
would?
volunteers is tricky.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh no.
All right.
And we might want to think about, oh, I don't know, just like if there were ways to keep it on land. So, I mean, and this is how, if he's young, he could be spewing out all kinds of ideas. He could throw out things like, well, you know, if we attach ropes to the arrows, then once they're done shooting the arrows into the fish, they can hold on to it so it can't struggle back. And, you know, maybe the older rangers are like, that's great.
just
but
gonna
we're
pull
not
the
doing-
arrow
we're
right
not-
out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
not going to work.
We don't have any
Um,
barbed arrowheads.
yeah.
Sorry.
Right,
Right.
exactly. Yeah. So, yeah, I think he would volunteer to be the bait essentially, and then if the
Okay.
plan is just lure it onto the beach, and then have, you know, arrows from the sides, and then be joined on the ground maybe by others, because like he's got a
Yeah.
bow, but there
Yeah.
might be a couple of others who want to be on the ground fighting it as
I-
well.
Yeah, I will definitely be on the ground fighting it.
I can definitely imagine Oda wanting to be like
Yeah.
within an axe distance of slicing this thing into sushi. So
Yeah,
Right.
right. Mm.
And maybe we can, if we get it on the land, like, can we, maybe like I could hack at the fins because it can't swim without its
Yeah,
fins,
yeah,
right?
absolutely. Yeah. Okay, great.
And Melly, if you try and stay out of its direct reach, if you can take a torch behind it and just wave it behind
Yeah.
it so it doesn't go back to the water.
Totally. Yeah, I can
More
do-
fire.
Yeah, I can do that.
Okay. Yeah, so I think for the part of the other Dunedain, obviously you have some stationed up around the cove with bows,
Mhm.
and then you'll have a couple folks who are manning the fire ship essentially, and they'll launch that once the creature comes up on the beach. So sounds good. So I think once all your resources are gathered, the boat is prepared to be set on fire, the arrows are gathered together. It represents obviously the last of your stock of arrows.
Oh my god. Yeah.
So it's very much do or die. If this fails, you'll be down one boat and you won't have any arrows left. So
Ay.
I don't like that. But
Got it wherever you
it
want
all starts
Right.
it all starts with a lone figure on the pebbly cove, looking vulnerable and like easy prey. So Haleth, let's use a hunting roll to
God.
bait the prey, the
Can we
quarry.
take a 5-minute break before we start the big combat?
Yes,
Let's do it.
please.
Sorry.
I think that's a
No,
great
no,
suggestion.
Yeah, I was gonna suggest that too.
All right, cool. I'll be right
All right.
back.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Fine.
2 characters in 2 sessions. Let's go.
Let's do it.
Again?
No.
Yeah.
Oh my
Well,
God.
of course, as I was saying, Haleth is going to be the one who's most at
Well,
risk here.
Seriously.
For one roll.
One
Yeah.
roll at least.
Yeah.
So yes, let's.
Oh my
let's-
god, if he came back as a hobbit,
Oh, balance would be restored.
Yeah.
That'd be so good. Love that.
I'm telling you, if we
Let's,
party wipe, we should come back as a family of like Hobbit Mafia. Just
Yes.
like
Right.
rolling up on people.
That's right. I would love
Be
that.
some of those
That's
hobbits
a-
of Bree. Super
Yeah.
it's a
shady.
beautiful garden you have. It would be a shame if something would have happened to it. Is all I'm saying.
Mhm.
Go into
Yeah.
people's restaurants and refuse to leave unless they pay us off.
Listen,
The Hobbit, if it was
parsnips.
directed
I don't
by
think
Guy
you're using the
Ritchie.
proper parsnips. I'm telling you, the brandy buff parsnip. It's the one you want. I'll get you a deal. I know a guy.
there's a tavern and a hobbit walks in and everybody just like gets up and leaves.
Yeah.
Or just start staring at their beers really intently.
Right.
All right, so let's do a
Oh.
hunting roll for Haleth.
All right, this is one of my notable traits, and I have 2 in it, so I have hopes.
Hopes
Okay.
and dreams
So do
as
we.
well.
So do we.
No bonus die
Yep. Right.
and success.
Yay!
Got it. Okay. So yeah, how are you luring this thing up on the beach?
Well, if we think movement is what does it,
Mhm.
basically he would play to any of the obvious ploys. So if wandering by himself, weak, looking weak, maybe he affects a limp by the edge of the water. If he has to walk into the water a little bit and splash around, maybe he's got some kind of light source and he's being really obvious, like I am definitely not, ouch, for I am wounded and must walk slowly, or whatever he thinks will work.
Mhm.
Even if it's just walking slow, like painfully slowly, or stomping to create vibrations, whatever he's going to do, he's probably going to make a little bit of an ass of himself, but it is solely to get as much attention on him as possible.
Okay.
Right.
Love it. So even though there's been no sign of this thing for like a week, it becomes obvious that it has been keeping an eye on your location the whole time, because it really doesn't take very long before the waters begin to ripple a bit, and then you see a kind of ghostly light shimmering beneath the dark waters of the lake. Remember that at all times you are still ensconced in this very heavy mist with the gray skies overhead. You haven't seen the sun in a fortnight at this point. And then suddenly the waters part, and this great massive blob of a giant fish covered in milky white blind eyes and giant mouth with needle-like teeth just comes rushing up out of the water and scrambling across the pebbly beach with its little stumpy limbs coming straight at you, its tail thrashing, pushing it along behind. And we're fighting.
We are.
The fight begins. So, we need stances.
No.
What? Wait, yeah, there's an extra detail, David, that you left out.
What did I leave out?
Just look at the Zoom chat.
Oh, Zoom chat.
Yes.
Oh, what am I missing? Oh, there it is. Okay, little hobbit skeleton hanging out of the corner of its mouth. Oh God. No.
All right.
All right. So, very good. Let's do some stances.
Okay.
Haleth is in forward.
Absolutely.
Also in forward.
Okay.
Yeah, I feel like I'm probably forward.
Yeah, sure. Everyone's
I
just
don't think
rushing
I'm
this
forward. I don't know if
No.
I'm forward. I'm waiting with my little torch.
thing. Okay.
So what would
Alright,
be
whoops.
the
That's just open. That's
open? Okay.
Come on, let me get the. Okay, there we go.
Okay, you
All
got
right.
it.
So, very good. Let's see. So we got 3 people in forward. So all of you will be acting. Well, technically, the arrows start to rain down. I think the best way to handle that is for me to just roll some, like apply some damage to it every turn,
Okay.
without any chance of piercing. These are just regular folk who've been wounded, and they're just lobbing arrows at this thing. So
Yeah.
We'll take it.
we'll take it. Yep.
Yeah. No complaints.
So let's see. A bow normally does 4 damage. Okay. All right. So maybe what I can do is I can just roll for just to see like how many hit as a general idea. What can let's see. I'll do 1d6 minus 1. So there's a chance of it being 0. And also a chance of it being 5. All right. So, yep, a couple arrows hit home. Okay. All right. So, yes, now we go to the forward stance. So Haleth, you were closest, so why don't you lead us off?
All right. Going in with my longsword as it comes up on the beach.
Okay.
Bonus die. Target's parry still 0.
0. Yep. Whoa. Nice.
Ooh.
That was great
Ooh.
success.
Let's see. Can you spend that to get a piercing blow? Is the question.
Are you keen? Is your weapon keen?
No. Don't think so.
Checking.
It's Grievous.
It's Grievous. It's not keen.
Yeah. Okay. And swords only do +1 on a 6. So no piercing blow, but yeah, what would you like to do? Heavy blow, fend off. What do you think?
I think at this point, heavy blow.
Heavy blow. Okay. Okay. So that is your and are you using this two-handed or with a shield?
No, I've got shield, so it's one-handed.
Okay. So that gives you plus your strength to your damage rating there.
Strength is 8.
Wow. Okay. So what is that? 14 damage. All right.
Yep.
A nasty hit. Okay, Oda, you're coming in with
Yeah,
your
I'm
axe.
gonna swing my grievous axe. I'm gonna try to lop the tail off.
Most grievous brawl. Lop that tail off. Yeah, hell yeah. All right. I'm not using the same battle music as last time. Obviously, that was cursed. So.
Yeah, it was very much so.
Yeah.
Oh, target's parry is 0.
0. Yeah.
Extraordinary success! Oh my
Nice.
god!
No.
Scandalo.
I didn't even spend hope.
Oh wow!
Wow.
Nice.
Holy crap. And are you two-handed on this or
Sure, yeah.
yeah. All right.
Absolutely.
So let's see here. Of course, as we established last time, axes can't pierce. But I mean, if you want to just do the thing and do three heavy blows on this thing.
Oh.
Whoa.
Yeah. So what is your strength?
6, I think.
Okay, so that's 38 damage. That is enough to reduce its endurance to 0.
Oh, one hit.
What?
However, because
Oh.
I decided it still had, you reduced its endurance, and I decided it hadn't healed because it has a special ability, Hideous Toughness. When an attack inflicts damage to the creature that would cause it to go to 0 endurance, it causes a piercing blow instead. Then, if the creature is still alive, it returns to full endurance.
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
What?
Jesus.
No.
Okay,
What
so
sense does that make?
None.
well, so we're gonna do a piercing blow. So opponent makes a protection roll, which is equal to a feat die plus the protection of the armor worn, TN equivalent to the weapon's injury. Okay, and however, when it is on land, all rolls are ill-favored. So
Okay.
this will be an ill-favored protection roll. And injury rating is a 20, crazily enough.
I don't know what any of these numbers mean.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Oh
Oh
come
my
on.
gosh.
Why do you get a great success?
I don't know. That was ill-favored even. Jesus.
Was it?
It is. It says right there.
I know it
ill-favored.
does. It does.
Oh, the other roll was a
What?
freaking
Sauron.
Sauron.
Oh god.
Okay. Basically, Naja, what that all meant was this should have been a failed roll, but instead
Mm-hmm.
he somehow freaking managed to go back to full endurance. All right, I am gonna say you lopped his tail off though, because fuck that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, it's like that's an extraordinary success. Come
Yeah,
on.
yeah. Okay, all right. So, and then we have Silumir.
Silumir draws his longsword as well and tosses aside the scabbard and just rushes at this thing two-handed. He's not wielding a shield or anything.
Yeah, okay.
And he's just gonna try going right for the largest eye he can see.
Oh.
Nice. Cut that shit open.
I'm gonna use a hope die and let's
Nice.
target spirit there and and it's a piercing because I pierce on a 9.
Yes.
Nice. All right. would you like to make that a heavy blow as well? Just to
Yeah, sure.
really,
So my strength is
Drive it
6.
home.
I'm wielding my sword two-handed.
Okay. Great. So that's 11 endurance damage, and then go ahead. I'll have to go ahead and make a protection roll against that piercing blow. You're wielding it two-handed, so that is a 20 again. This is still ill-favored. Okay, here we go. There we go. God
Yeah.
almighty.
Oh,
All right. So that costs it 1 might point. So there's 2 ways to kill enemies. One is to reduce their endurance to 0 as long as they don't have a an OP spell ability that allows them to return to full endurance. And the other is to reduce their might to 0. So you have cost it 1 point of might. Obviously, it has more than 1 point.
Do we get to know how
Yeah.
many? Or is that a secret?
Oh, let's keep it a secret and make it interesting. All right.
And, may I use my once per combat royalty revealed ability?
Yes, of course.
So as he like runs in, the light glints. What little bit of light there is, the torchlight glints off of his sword and the engraved pommel, and it allows me to make our rally comrades as a secondary action.
Okay.
So if I succeed, it'll give people bonus dice on
Nice.
next attack.
Hey.
Yeah, there we go. So anybody in forward stance next action gets a bonus die to attack, and everybody, including me, is inspired the entire next turn.
yay!
What does inspiration do again? Sorry.
Question.
Doesn't is that? I think that means you get 2 dice for every hope
Yeah, I
spent,
thought
right?
there was.
2 dice for every hope. Yes, that was
Yes.
it. That was it.
I'm gonna write that down.
Okay, excellent. So well done all. And then that just leaves Melly.
Yeah. So I mean, I guess I have my torch and I'm just waving at it so that if it's trying to I don't know if it's trying to move away from all of this
Mhm.
attack.
Mhm.
So whatever direction it's going into, I want to have the fire there to have it go the opposite way.
Okay. That's
Um,
great. It has a fear of fire, and so as long as it has an adversary wielding a torch or other sort of burning item in close combat with it, it loses 1 point of hate automatically every turn.
Mhm.
So
Okay.
makes it less likely that it's going to be able to trigger certain fell abilities such as hideous toughness,
Mhm.
like we did.
So should I use my sword skill just to wield something?
Yeah, if you want to attack it, there's certainly no, anyone can get a piercing blow, right? So,
Yeah.
and
Okay.
that's a chance to
All right.
cause
might
a
as well.
wound. Yeah.
Okay. And so we have a bonus of 2, right? At this point,
If you spend a hope point.
I will. I'll spend
Okay.
another one. So, okay. Let's.
You'd have 3, right? Because there's 2 for the hope,
Mm-hmm.
That's
and
right.
then 1 for the.
Mine only applies to people in forward stance
Yeah,
next
Melly's
turn.
in
Oh,
Oh,
that's
okay.
right. I'm not in forward stance. Okay, so I'm just gonna try.
If I had rolled better, it would apply to more people. But
Oh, good. Oh, it's
Well, that's
fine.
on you.
yeah, I know. I can only do so much, David.
Oh my god. We'll see. Oh, I got a
Whoa.
great
Oh
success.
yeah.
Ho ho.
Okay, so
Nice.
I
Oh, so close to a piercing.
I
too.
know,
Oh,
one
actually,
away.
no,
Oh, wait, you can spend it.
spend.
Oh,
You
I
can
Yeah.
spend
can.
that great success and make it a piercing blow.
I will. It is a
Okay,
piercing.
cool.
So I'm gonna
All
stab
right.
one of its eyes with the torch, I guess.
Nice.
Well,
Well,
that would extinguish.
yeah. And technically, it's your keen blade that you're stabbing it with, which is what's giving you the piercing on a 9-up. So great.
Okay.
You do the damage and damage
Wow.
of 3. Okay. And then I'm gonna roll its protection.
Hopefully it's a fail.
Let's find
See.
out. Injury
Hmm.
rating is a 16. Okay.
Oh, why do you keep rolling so hot?
I don't know. I don't know.
Bring in
All right.
everybody.
Wow, a 6 and 2 5s. Yikes.
That was a good roll.
That's a good roll. All right, so that is all of our heroes. So we have our Doom. Okay, so its shield was cut off. A shield. Its tail was cut off. So that really just leaves its bite. And I think since it was going for Haleth, we'll have it attack Haleth. So what is Haleth's parry, please?
My parry, I do believe it be 16.
Okay. Alrighty. No bonus dice. Target's parry 16. This is ill-favored. Here we go.
And it still hits.
What the hell? Look, I'm sorry. Okay,
Right.
I'm sorry. All right,
All
but no piercing blow. 8 damage.
Chomps again.
Yeah. All right. All right, so that takes us back to the top of the round. Let me roll my arrows here. All right, again, 2 hits.
Little
All right.
cushion fish.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Everyone maintaining their stances from last time.
Yes.
Mhm. Oh, I think I'll go forward now.
You'll go forward? Okay.
Everyone
All right,
gets the
Haleth.
bonus now.
That's right.
Yay.
Haleth, go for it.
Okay, so I'm going to just continue with my sword. You know, he
Mhm.
gets bit, and he's like, "All right, I've been through here, been here, done this. Let's keep going. Go for one of the eyes." Okay, so remind me again. I didn't have it written down. What's the bonus?
You get 1 from me because of my rally,
Mhm.
and then if you spend a hope, you'll have another 2. So you'll get 1 hope. Will give you. You'll get up to 4 bonus dice for this one attack.
Yes, I don't see why not. That seems
Yeah, really.
like silly not to.
Now's
Yeah.
the time.
Okay.
Wait, how do you do the 4? Because the 1 for the royalty and then the 2.
And because he's in forward stance as well.
Oh.
Yeah, so I get an extra one for being forward. Yeah. All right, so here we go. Parry of 0. Dramatic pause.
Yeah, it's waiting.
Woo!
Still hasn't
Alright.
loaded on my end. Yeah,
Yeah.
there we go.
Whoa!
Whoa.
Gandalf rune too.
Damn.
Awesome.
31 plus a
Yeah.
crit. Okay. Cool. Do you want to make those 2 successes into what are they called? Heavy blows?
Heavy blows, absolutely.
Okay. So we're doing 6 damage, and then your strength was an
8.
8. That's right. Okay.
He's a strong
so
boy.
He is a
Mhm.
strong boy. My God. So that's 22. And then I'll give him a protection roll here. Okay. You're one-handed, right?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So injury rating 16.
Oh.
Thus,
Why did you roll an extraordinary success?
I don't know.
Are you giving yourself bonus dice?
No,
yeah,
he
that's what it
he
seems
has-
like. He's just
He
doing
has
extra
4
bonus.
protection, which is a lot. Okay, that's a lot
Alright.
of protection.
The tough
Alright.
boy.
He is
Yeah.
a good boy.
Okay.
But that's
You-
a lot of damage.
No.
Yeah. Well, it is a lot of damage.
Uh,
All right, Oda, you're up next.
Let's just rage, just swing the axe double-handed.
Mhm.
There's no
Carve this thing
no tactics, nothing. It's just over and over again, like you're
Yeah.
chopping a log.
Yeah, by this point, the fire ship's kind of floating from around the corner of the cove, fully
Yeah.
engulfed.
all right.
So I'm gonna give myself the 4
Okay, spend a hope. Yep.
and a hope.
Okay,
Yeah.
nice.
Great success.
Excellent. So, right. Heavy blow again, I assume.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and your strength is a 6 as well. So that is 13 damage. Okay. All right. And let's go to Silumir next.
I'm gonna continue on hacking as well with the longsword. Also spending to get the bonus dice.
Yep.
Ooh, no.
Okay.
I mean, it's a regular success, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
come on, a lot of dice for nothing.
I know, right?
hmm
Come on. Yeah, really. God, you rolled what, 7 dice there?
Yeah,
Oh well. Okay.
4 4s.
Yeah.
Rude. All right, and Melly.
All right. So I think I'm going to just do the stabby still
Of course.
with all of it. Let's see here.
Spend
Okay.
a hope there.
Yes. So let's go down to that, and then we are going to roll that and +4, and there we go. And there it is. It is
Oh,
a success.
A success. Okay.
Yeah. One away from a piercing. Yeah.
yeah.
Dang.
Ugh.
All right. Okay. And at this point, I'm going to start randomizing its attack. So roll d4, and we'll just go 1 Haleth, 2 Oda, 3 Silumir, 4 Melly.
No!
Oh,
No.
I love
Just admit you hate hobbits. Just admit
It has a
You-
taste for hobbits. It has a
That's-
taste
yeah,
for
exactly.
the meat now.
It's like,
meats.
That's right.
Sweet meats.
I can't do this again.
I know.
I can't do this again.
Seriously, I am not into this at all.
What is Melly's parry?
Although I will make an
please?
elf if I die.
Oh, alright.
What?
I said, what is your parry?
My parry is right in front of my face, right here. It
right
is
now.
right here, right now. It is showing me that my parry is on the character sheet somewhere.
Right side under wits.
Under wits, exactly. That's exactly my parry is 18.
18. Well, that's good. Okay.
Not
Yeah, so you
today.
see those teeth go like right in front of your face. Like
I'm nimble.
You
I'm
nibble your
able
way
to-
out of that. Yeah.
Yeah. Get out of the
Oh.
way.
All right.
Let's start
Indeed.
screaming little battle cries.
Okay, more arrows. Pepper this thing.
Mm-hmm.
Loses another point of hate from the fire. Okay. All right. Aleph, show me what you can do. The bonus, the inspiration is faded.
Darn.
Mm.
All right. So I'm just gonna. I mean, that was a really good blow. So I imagine like it came up and tried to bite him, and he just jammed his sword like in the edge of its mouth and kind of drug it along for a little bit. So there's this big
Ooh.
nasty
Nice.
gash in it. It's
Love it.
probably spitting blood all over the place, and he's just like, okay, like it's back into the fray now.
Yeah.
He's seen it now go for one of his friends, and it failed. But that is kind of a mid-battle reminder of what's at stake. So it's
Yeah.
not just the fact that it's, it's cool that the Rangers are here doing something together, but also there's others, and that's the whole point. So he's going to go back in for another longsword attack. I will spend another point of hope.
Okay.
So that's just going to give me 2, right? Because that has
Mhm.
faded now.
Yeah,
So-
forward and then yeah.
Yeah. And then still a parry of 0.
At least you got that going for you.
Yeah.
Doesn't have a parry.
And a great success.
Nice.
nice.
Awesome. You can make a piercing blow if you would like.
Absolutely. Yep. I'm just going to
Alright.
keep stabbing.
All right, so 6 damage first of all, and then I'll make its protection roll here. Injury rating of 16.
Wow. Great success again.
The
for
thing
you.
is, its armor is tough. I mean,
It
we're
is.
still doing damage, but it is
Yes,
not.
you're whittling
This is
it
not a
down for
goblin that
sure.
we can just lop its head off and call it good.
No,
Mhm.
no. All right, Oda, show me what you got.
Back at it. Blind
Yes.
race. Worth it.
Hack, hack, hack.
Uh-huh.
This is literally hack and slash. That's what's going on here.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, great.
Ooh, there we
Yeah.
go.
Piercing
Good.
blow.
Yes.
Nice. All right, so that's
Gandalf rune.
already a piercing blow. So you can use that great success to add damage, I assume, right?
Yes, please.
Okay. So
So you hacked off
13.
its tail. Are you going for its other fins and stuff and
I
flippers?
was thinking, depending on how tall it is, I was thinking
Yeah.
about like taking like a swinging blow at the dangly light anglerfish.
Oh
thing.
yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm
I love
picturing it
it.
maybe about, I don't know, the size of a small car, like so
Mhm.
yeah, you could definitely like hit the top of it for sure.
Knock the
Even
light,
even as a dwarf.
light off.
Okay, so protection roll. Maybe we can actually fail one this time. maybe. Yeah. There we go.
Yay!
Yeah.
Ooh.
All right.
An automatic
so-
failure because of the
Yeah.
Gandalf.
Yeah, the
rune.
Gandalf rune.
Right.
Right.
Comes through.
Monk, come through, Gandalf.
That's
All
right.
right, so this thing is, I mean, yeah, it's black blood is, it's tar-like blood is all over the pebbles of the beach, and many of its eyes have been put out by arrows and sword and axe blows, and some of its teeth have been knocked out. So it is still thrashing around and fighting and trying to take you guys out, but looks like you nearly have it. You nearly have it. So, Silumir, what do you got for me?
He steps back for half a second. He's trying to time it to get it like right in between the eyes, the front eyes,
Yeah.
wherever a normal creature's brain would
Yeah.
be,
Yeah.
to finish this thing off once and for all.
Its brain's like the size of a Nerf football, but yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Size and shape.
Oh,
shit. It's because you
I am-
narrated that. The dice were like,
Yeah.
okay, all
Yeah,
right.
It's like, all right, all right,
I
that's
see
what we
it.
need.
yeah.
We'll
Yeah.
give you the
Okay,
piercing
so
blow
it's-
and
it's already-
two extraordinaries.
Yeah, it's already the piercing blow, so it's already at 20 injury, but I will also yet double up for two heavy
Two
blows.
extra,
So that's
yeah.
an extra 12 damage, so 17 damage plus the piercing blow.
All right, let me roll its protection here, and we're doing injury rating of 20. So, there we go.
Yeah.
All right, so you have reduced it to both 0 endurance and 0 might with that shot. So,
Yay.
The redemption.
Yeah.
I know.
Good.
all right,
The
so
blade pierces
the
true. It just sinks all the way to the hilt.
hilt deep,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah, and he just lets go, and it's like as it thrashes around for a second, he's just like panting as it dies
Nice.
for our
Yes.
lost family and friends.
Yeah.
Grabs the blade
Right.
and pulls it back out.
Oh.
Yeah, and as soon as you pull it out, it just collapses in on itself because it has no like bones, basically, right? It's just like just pure hatred, and
holds it up for everyone who's watching or within bows and arrows.
yeah, the
Is
sort of
everyone
ragged
cheering?
cheer
Yeah.
goes up from the cliffside, and yeah, the thing is very quickly deteriorating, but it's probably still enough left over if y'all want to have some fugu rolls later for dinner. Like,
No thanks.
Yeah, I think at this point he got bit, but he didn't realize how bad he got bit. So that was 8. He was at 28, and he got taken down to 20.
yeah,
So
Ooh.
Hal probably sits there for a second and then looks down at like his left arm, and there's just blood running down his arm and like dripping off of his fingers onto the pebbles, and he's like, "Okay, I should take care of that."
See to your wounds so you're not infected. We're gonna need that later.
Yeah.
Tries to do something badass, like just dip his whole bloody arm in the potable water to rinse it all off, and he's just sitting in this cloud of blood forming in the water as he's rinsing out his wound.
yeah.
Oh, man. Wow.
Okay, very
Oh my
good.
God.
Yeah.
Well, you did it.
We did it.
Yay!
Yay, us.
Oh,
Get off
okay.
this island. Can we
Yes.
Get the hell out of here.
I really don't like this island.
Yeah, can we just
No.
leave, please?
Yeah, everyone can agree on that. Even though the Doom has been defeated, the Dunedain do not wish to linger here. This was an ill choice that they made, and they are ready to return to the shores and try their fortunes elsewhere. So, and so that is what you all do. The smaller, more rickety boat is retrieved from the other island, whose name I can't remember. The Bleak Cove, and then takes a couple round trips to ferry everyone back to the nearly sunken, ruined piers of Numenos. But yeah, within a couple of hours, the shrouded islets are but a memory.
Hmm.
And so that brings up the question of where to? Where to now?
Hmm.
Well, I guess once they've settled in and they've got everyone recovering and recuperating, Silamir is gonna gather around you guys, and I know we've only just met, and our introduction was a bit tumultuous, but I've got nothing here with me right now. And my people need to rebuild and rest, but I can't sit still. If I sit still again, I fear I'll die. Would you be willing to let me travel with you?
If you want to do a recipe book research project, that's what we're doing. That's what we were gonna do. And my cousin got killed. God damn it.
And it was your cousin's idea. That's what you're listening to Session Zero. It was so tragic because Fen was the one who convinced Melly, like, we have to go out into the larger world to collect these recipes. You've told me all these stories about the world. I want to see it for myself. It was so like heartbreaking. I was like, oh God.
So he will he does a pretty good job of hiding the surprise on his face, like, this is what you're doing out here.
Yeah.
Do you not know what this world is like? Like, why are you? What are you doing? And then he bends down on a knee and he puts his hand on your shoulder, on Melly's shoulder. He's like, that's what you would like to do while we're out, absolutely. And he looks her in the eyes and then looks over at the other two behind her. It's like, yeah.
Yeah, it's fine.
And while we're out there, we'll see if we can do something else good. I'm
That's
sure there are
true.
many in need of assistance, right? And he looks to the other ranger.
Yeah. And Haleth will, he realizes, especially since you're kind of an older, more wizened ranger, he's kind of looking up to you, but he feels partially responsible for this little group, right? Like, this is kind of his little adventuring party. So he'll kind of nod and say, we would be grateful for your sword. And he would mention I don't know what Melly and Oda are planning, but I have word that the bandits to the north have been kidnapping travelers and selling them to the orcs and goblins. They have a strange hate of the small folk, and he kind of looks down at Melly as he's saying this, and they have been compensated with old dwarven gold. After this adventure, I feel the need to go hew some goblins.
There's a special place. Yeah, orcs, goblins, monsters. They are evils that I understand, and they can be put down, but there's a special place for evil men who turn on their own. They deserve nothing but contempt in the blade. No, absolutely, that is where we need to be.
Okay.
Or other two members of the company feel.
Oda, I'll defer to you. I have my own idea, actually.
I've been thinking about this all week.
Yeah.
Okay. So, I don't know if you guys know the story, the tale of how dwarves came to be, but Iluvatar of the Old Ones created the men, and Aule was jealous of his creative power, created dwarves, but they're incomplete. Supposedly we're incomplete, and that's why we lust after gold and toil and labor, because Aule didn't have the creational power of Iluvatar. And there's a moment when we were battling the Doom where if I hadn't had my bag of gold, I probably could have gotten Fen back. And I failed it because I had my bag of gold, and I cannot believe that that's who dwarves are. I cannot believe that's all I'm meant to be. There has to be something greater. There has to be. We have to. Because it doesn't feel good to only lust after treasure. I don't know where that is. Fate has dropped me with this group. change this changing group, but I'll see it, and my goal is to redeem myself in all dwarf kind. Improve.
Wow.
I've been thinking about it all week.
I can tell. It's awesome.
Reread a whole section of the Silmarillion to do it.
Oh shit!
Nice.
Homework.
Yeah.
Serious homework.
That's some
Woo.
XP right there. So I will turn to the three of you who are towering over me, really, and I'll
Not
say,
towering, person.
oh, slightly.
Well,
And I'll just say, I think I need to go back home for now. So if you would kindly escort me, if it wouldn't be too much out of your way, if you could escort me back to my home, perhaps you will meet somebody who would be better equipped to be on your mission. It doesn't feel right to continue without Finn, and I sniff.
I've only known you for a short time, but if that's truly what you want to be, or what you want to do, go back home. And if that's what you think your cousin would want for you, absolutely. But the song you sang to lift everyone's spirits was one of a hope and journey and wonder. And I don't want to speak out of turn, but I don't think you're going to find that in the Shire.
Well, maybe I can think about it. So if we could we end up like, and this is just a meta thing, if we do want to like move away from this place, would it be like, are we doubling back at all, like heading in the direction of the Shire, or no?
well, that's a great question. So, yeah, basically what Haleth is proposing is to sort of head out. If you look at the map,
Yeah.
I'll mark it here. So you're at Numinos
Oh, thank
at
God.
the moment. What?
Not in the middle of the lake anymore.
No. And so Fen is essentially, or Fen, excuse me. Haleth is proposing to.
Finn isn't like, you're right. You were right the first time.
Yeah, I know. Haleth is proposing to head off more or less in this direction.
I see.
And the Shire is
There's
like
the
right
opposite
there.
direction. Yeah.
So yeah, it really is kind of your moment of decision that you'll have to make.
Okay. So I think like maybe I can continue going, you know. And I don't know if I'm equipped though, but I'll help.
What would Bilbo Baggins do?
Bilbo's out for different things, but
Is that what you're saying? Like,
yeah, so
outwardly? Okay.
So I'm I'm piecing it together. So I turn to the group and I look at Silumir and I say, I appreciate that, and I'll do my best, but I'll stick with this trip and or this quest or this journey I'm taking with all of you, and I will accompany you. And I put my hand on Oda's forearm, and I know there's more to you than just treasure. I've seen that, so I don't think you should be worried, but I'll help you all as we move along, and I'll do my best to keep up with you.
We are not who our parents were. We are just the actions we take and the legacy we leave behind. So we're going to make that legacy in our next actions, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Haleth is all like, stab some orcs, stab some goblins.
So I'll say like, yeah, I think, I don't know if I have enough weapons. I just have my bow and my short sword, but
His a
I
keen
can't go.
blade, though.
Yeah.
I know, I can keep going.
I've
I'm
seen
just
you
being-
with that blade.
It's-
I've seen you wield that blade. Yeah.
No, I love the character arc here. Like, you are a hobbit, so you wouldn't necessarily just be like, yeah, sure, let's go to the lost realm of Angmar and fuck around over there. Like, no.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
you know,
So,
Yeah.
a blade is anything you make of it. It's the size of the blade can be important sometimes, but it's more about where you put it. And I'm sure Haleth and I can show you all the vulnerable areas,
Yeah.
especially on evil men.
Haleth will put his hand on kind of Millie's shoulder and say, "Fear not. You have our swords. You have her axe. And always remember, pointy end into the bad guy."
So Melly nods and says, "All right." So I'll just say, "Yeah, we'll keep going, even without Finn."
No, we're gonna carry him with us.
Okay. All right. So sounds like it is time for another journey.
Mm-hmm.
Step
Okay.
away for 1 second, but I'll be right back.
Okay.
Sure. Okay. All right.
So do we have to like re-up or like
Yep, it's going to be re-picking rolls and
Okay.
doing all of the journey rolls again.
Cool.
Right. So you have to decide your destination first and foremost, or should I say first and foremost, because it's a ruined
Ba-bum,
city.
ba-bum.
It's a ruined city, but it is known to the Rangers. In fact, the Rangers are the only people who dare venture into the ruined city itself. And
I'm sure Haleth would love to impress everybody so he would probably go off on a spiel about how this, where we are now, used to be the capital of the country. And then it got too evil and too corrupted, so they fucked off to Fornost, which, when you don't get rid of the corruption and you just move the corruption, turns out you're still corrupted. So then that was also corrupted,
Mhm.
and that also eventually fell and had bad things happen to it. So if you don't deal with the core problem, turns out it just gets worse.
Mm.
Ignoring it doesn't help, folks. That's what I'm saying.
That's familiar.
Yeah, very
Yeah, there's a lot. It's very
Applicable.
applicable to our everyday lives.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes. So, that would probably be the most logical direction to head. But of course, obviously, I'm only providing you with some background info, and if you all would rather, trace some different routes, that is perfectly acceptable to me.
I like that idea. I think that I'm fine with going in that direction.
Okay.
Because Lord knows we're gonna encounter a bunch of stuff, like weird things.
So, okay, let's see. Let's figure out how long you will be journeying. Fornost. So, as I mentioned, and as John hinted at, Fornost is well, to you, Melly, as a scholar, you know a little bit about geography. So you know these ruins as Norbury.
Okay.
And the people of Bree call it Deadman's Dyke.
Oh.
Right. But yes, only those mysterious wanderers called the Rangers recall its former glory as a great fortress and city built in the time of the kings out of the sea and called Fornost Irain. All right, so we are headed that way. All right. So I'm looking at the map and I'm calculating how long it's going to take. But in the meantime, choose your roles. Remember, we have guide, hunter, lookout, and scout.
Okay. So can you describe the skills needed for each of those?
The guide is in charge of all decisions concerning route, rest, and supplies, and therefore makes a travel roll.
Mm-hmm.
The hunter is in charge of finding food in the wild. You can guess what skill they use. The lookout is in charge of keeping watch and therefore makes lookout rolls.
Okay.
Those kinds of rolls.
Awareness rolls.
Awareness rolls, yep. And the scout is in charge of setting up camp and opening new trails. And see, let me get my own journey.
I'm gonna make explore rolls.
Explore rolls, thank you.
Okay.
All right. So there you go. Talk amongst yourselves.
Okay. My awareness is 2. The rest I have like 1 dot in. So
okay.
My explore is 3, and I think it's favored.
Ooh.
You should definitely do the scout roll then.
Mm-hmm.
I've got travel to, hunt to, which is favored, and awareness 2.
As do I.
Oh, okay. So what do you need for the guide again?
Guide is travel.
Yeah, okay. I only have 1 dot in that.
I can do the travel roll if you'd like. I'll be the guide
Yeah.
because my target number is a 15 and I've got 2 travel.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I can do hunting. I've got 2 in hunting and it's favored. So
Okay. Okay. I guess I could be the lookout because my awareness is 2.
Okay. So Silmir is the guide, is that correct?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then Haleth is what?
Hunter.
hunter.
Okay. Cool. And then Melly, you are doing lookout.
I'm the lookout, yeah.
And that leaves Oda for scout.
Mhm.
Okay, cool. All right. And then just mapping this out here. Okay. And okay. All right. So it's a pretty straightforward journey across pretty flat terrain. So don't have to worry about that. You do have to ford the headwaters of the Brandywine shortly after departure. So there is that. But apart from that, you're just passing over these big open fields that have a certain name that would be known to the Rangers, if not to our other travelers. It's just a name. It's just a name. They're just called the Fields of Slaughter. That's all. But
No biggie.
no biggie.
We don't need to tell anybody that name.
No.
Yeah.
We keep that one to
What's this
ourselves.
called again?
There might even be like there might even be like a moment where we're walking where the 2 rangers kind of make eye contact and they're like, no.
No.
Nay on the slaughter, the laughter slaw or whatever you say it, big lad. It's like, nope, don't want to do it.
Not all places have names. It's just a field.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
All right. So, you will be traveling to Fornost. Okay. All right. Anyway, okay. So we will start out with the guide's roll, I believe.
Travel roll.
Yes.
Here.
Okay. So that's
Okay.
awareness.
Yes.
It's awareness? I thought it was travel.
Oh no, the guide. Yeah,
Oh.
travel.
Sorry.
Oh, good. Making sure the right
Yeah.
thing.
I got excited. Wait, is our hope points restored?
Not
Not yet.
Not yet. Ooh.
Beat success.
Nice.
Excellent. Feat success. Okay,
Mm.
cool. Great. So let's see here. A success. Okay. We didn't roll any success icons. Okay. I'll just go ahead and mark that on there. 1, 2, 3. Interesting. Okay.
What?
All right. Very good. So you set out and let's get some tests then. All right. Resolving events. Okay. Very good. Okay. So basically the first 3 days of your journey pass uneventfully. You get across the river, no problem, and pass out onto these fields. The weather is chilly. Remember, it's late spring. But after a couple weeks under the gray skies of the shrouded islets, you're grateful for any sun that you get. Okay. And yeah, let me figure out something that happens to you here.
Oh my God.
I was just
You're
reading about
figuring
it
out
because
what?
we're in the Darklands. That's
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no.
This feels cold again.
Oh, but let me before I get into that, I did have
See
a
who it happens to.
nice little table I can roll on here while you're traveling out onto these. Oh, interesting. Okay. All right. Wow. Interesting.
Okay.
Just reading really quickly here.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
All right. So yeah, you cross the river and on the second day of your journey across these fields, you spot some ruins.
Right.
They're quite ruined. In fact,
Ugh.
in fact, they're barely discernible. The main thing that you notice is the remains of the floor, or at least part of the floor, whatever building this used to be. It's an interesting spiraling mosaic pattern.
Okay.
Okay.
Is it any like particular colors or?
They're fairly muted at this point. Many of the tiles have been chipped away, but
Okay.
it looks like it was maybe there's a lot of hues of blue and green and gold. So maybe it
Okay.
was like sort of depicting a sort of abstract whirlpool or something.
Whirlpool.
Hmm.
I'm looking at the colorful tile or the faded tiles, I guess.
Faded but colorful, yeah. Mhm.
Okay. And I'll turn to the group and I'll just say, who made these?
Does anybody have
Feels
lore?
like I was saying that feels like a lore roll. Like
Yeah.
Health,
Mhm.
Health will go for it. No bonus die.
I'll also see if we can figure it out.
No.
Uh-oh.
Also new.
Oh.
That's right.
Rangers
Yeah,
are like,
whatever.
it's old buildings and crap. They're all over the
They're
place. around
literally
here."
everywhere. I mean, there's a dime a dozen. This one's useless. It doesn't have a roof. Why would you stay here?
Exactly. Yeah.
All right. Let's see here. I'm gonna look. Let's see here.
I feel like
Yeah, I
the
don't have
Rangers
any-
are like letting them look around, but like in the background, just like, all right, we're burning daylight now. Come on.
Come on. Keep going. Let's keep going.
What a
So I-
beautiful meadow. We should have a picnic. Or...
Yeah, exactly. I wish if only we had something good to eat. So yeah, so I don't have anything in lore. That's why I was just curious, like if anyone knew. But I'm like, all right. And so I'll like dust my hands off and after like touching them and like I'm leaving them in their place.
So,
And
so you were poking around? Go ahead and make a scan roll for me, please.
Uh-oh.
I
did
have
the
nothing
thing.
in scan. All
Your
right.
face.
Yeah, because I know. I just like I don't have anything in
Oh, so you were touching it though.
touching the tiles. Maybe I was poking at them with a stick. I don't have anything in scan. I succeed though.
Fucking
Take that,
Gandalf
GM.
rune.
Take that,
Ooh.
GM.
Take that? What?
Adversarial game.
It's never not.
Okay.
Anyway, yours are just like, oh, so you were poking at. Yes, I was touching the
Yeah.
tile.
Okay. Well, what you notice with your poking is that it's like marble under the mosaic,
Oh.
and there's like one of the slabs looks like it has a handle kind of set into it that's disguised by the pattern of the mosaic.
Okay. So are you all watching me or are you just like looking around at other stuff? I'm curious if the group is observing me or just
No, Silamir is probably actually watching outward.
Yeah, I was gonna say that makes Haleth would probably be doing the same thing. Like, okay, we're gonna let them look, we're gonna explore or whatever, but he would probably immediately turn his back to the ruins and then just be scanning for anything else. Because he and Silmir and I know this is the plains of slaughter, but nobody else does. So we're like, okay,
I was
we're
just
just gonna keep
like
this.
really
We're gonna
trying
keep
hard
this
not to be like-
adventure on rails and not let the little ones know what's going on.
Yeah.
Not
Mm.
that
I think-
little.
I know, like
Not little.
I'm short, but
Oda, what
I
were
feel like
what-
Oda's like really resisting the urge to like look like I wonder if the tiles are valuable at all.
No. Newly reformed.
That's right. So I'm gonna like I'm looking down at this and I see this little handle and I look at Oda because you're probably closest to me,
Mhm.
maybe.
Yeah,
So
I'll look with you.
I'll say it has a handle. So I'm
Pull
gonna
the
try
handle.
try to pull it up. Yeah.
See a handle, you pull it. Yeah.
Okay.
That's right. I know.
We all know
Anytime.
that. Yes.
It's what you do.
Everyone knows that.
Yeah.
Okay, so you give it a tug, and as you pull it up, some stale air kind of escapes from underneath, very briefly, like,
Ah.
you know.
Mhm.
But then, as
Yeah.
the slab pulls back, Oda, you're looking down, and your eyes widen, and as much as you're trying to reform, you can't help but feel that stirring in your dwarven bones as you are looking upon a hoard of treasure.
Ooh.
This looks to be like whoever resided here once, this was their sort of like safe or stash. This is where they hid their valuables, presumably before they abandoned this villa in the face of oncoming enemies, with the intention of coming back to retrieve these golden dishes and cups studded with precious stones, lacquered drinking horns, and a small armory of items of worth, as it says.
Items
So-
of worth, you say.
Yes. It also says the amount of treasure points is up to the lore master. So
Ooh.
TBD, I guess. This was a random table I rolled on. So I'm like, I don't know. Let me figure that out. I will have it figured out by next week. But in the meantime, Haleth, you said you were keeping watch. And
Mhm.
as you
Thank God
hear
somebody has to.
Oda's gasp of amazement, you see out on the plains. So basically, like, where you're at right now is like the very base of the long, gentle slope that you've been descending from the hills of Evendim to the west. And so it's kind of like I say, just these flat plains. To the south, you do see several small, kind of barrow-shaped mounds. But and from that direction, you see a single figure slowly walking in your direction.
Can I make out any details about said figure?
Yeah, do me an awareness roll, and let's see.
Oh,
Let's see what you can figure
Rolling
out.
in awareness.
God.
Success.
Yes.
Nice. Okay. It's a figure with like very long hair blowing in the chill northern wind. Looks to be kind of a silvery hair. They're wearing maybe like flowing clothes, but sort of travel clothes, practical clothing. They have a spear and very pale skin, so could be a spirit of a warrior who died in battle here on the fields of slaughter, or it could be a real person, and if so, it may very well be an elf.
Ooh.
Okay, so Hella spots this. He makes out the details. I think the first thing he would say is, "Careful, we have a visitor." And then make motion to point out he heard Oda gasp, doesn't care, isn't really focused on that. Maybe checks back to make sure like, okay, it wasn't like scary, like there's nothing like jumping out and trying to slaughter everybody.
Right.
Okay, now we have a real potential problem, and that's down there.
Yes.
So he'll probably just kind of he doesn't know, right? But like
Right.
probably widens his stance a little bit. Hand kind of drifts down to his sword. He's kind of just mentally doing his checklist. Because if this other individual's a ways away, that gives him time to do any kind of preparations or whatever he might need in case this goes incredibly poorly, or in case it's like a barrow wight, in which case he's going to have to figure out a whole separate plan.
Right. Okay. How are the rest of you taking this news?
Silamir stands next to Haleth, like close, so they can whisper back and forth without alerting the other two of any badness that's out there.
Yeah.
And I doubt it's a barrow wight. They would wait until nightfall, follow us, and then try and take us in our sleep. If they're approaching us, they likely don't have any ill intention. I wouldn't approach a group of our size head on with any intent to do harm. But we should probably walk out and meet them. And he looks over his shoulder and Oda, Melly, we have company coming. We're gonna go make sure they're okay. Do they appear to be coming towards us? Like they've noticed us, or are they just
Well, they're heading in your direction.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Is it like a fast? Or are they like?
No, just kind of walking. Walking with purpose, but not like they're not like zigzagging, but they're not like charging at you either. So just...
So I'll look up and I'll just say, well, we can meet them with you. And I'm like, I'm starting to close the door to the treasure, right?
Yeah.
And I'm starting to,
Hey, no.
I'll let you close it, and I'm like, let's go get him. Let's see what this bullshit is.
She's like,
This is bullshit.
I know where it is.
Yeah, exactly. Let's leave it here.
Yeah. Look, we're early days, and it's okay to trip and stumble.
So I'll say, all right, let's go see who it is.
Right. So you move off across the western plain and soon come within hailing distance of what does indeed appear to be an elf. Looks like a lady. She, like I said, she has a spear. She looks very disheveled. Her hair, in addition to just being very long and unkempt, is like kind of wild. There's like tangles in it, and it just does it. She's not giving like elf of Rivendell or whatever, right? She's just like her clothes are a bit tattered. And as she gets closer, you can see she has like lots of scars, like on all the visible parts of her body, like battle wounds, basically, but healed, of course. And the main thing you notice is she's just muttering to herself. She just seems to be talking to herself in this like kind of constant patter, and maybe even hasn't noticed you, even though you're making no attempts to conceal yourselves.
Maybe we should back up and allow her passage.
This is the least elf-like elf I've ever seen.
I know, it's kind of sad, right?
Yeah.
You think she needs help?
Yes, but I don't know if we're prepared to give it.
So I'll say, hail.
Come on, Hobbit. All
Okay.
right, so so yeah, as she's drawing near, you can hear her, and she's saying like we must prepare for battle. We must make sure we are ready. Has Earnor arrived with his men and allies? How many do we have? Drameth, where are you? And then she sort of gives a start when Melly says hail, and she peers down at you, and she says, "Are you a spirit or a shade? What are you?"
I'm a halfling.
So then she seems to notice the other three of you, and she says, "Drameth, have you seen Drameth? No, of course you haven't. You are too young for that. When is the battle? What is happening? Where are the allies?"
There is no battle.
No, of course not. That was long ago.
Where are you going?
I seek my companion Drameth, who died on these very fields. Have you seen him? Have you seen her?
So I look back at the group, like, I don't know who that is.
Yeah. Can't help you.
I'm sorry, your friend is missing.
Yes, she was not part of the vanguard. She did not fight on this site. Her spirit won't be found here.
Can we help you find her spirit?
She looks around and says, "What?"
Marley's shaking his head. No.
Just like looks down at you. And,
She said, so she uses her spear to point off to another part of the plain, and she says, there is where I entered the field. It was a great host of elves and men, the Battle of Fornost. And even though y'all are pretty paltry with your lore skills, I would say, between the Dunedain would know this, and I think even Melly, because you're a scholar. The Battle of Fornost occurred 1,000 years ago.
Oh.
But it was a one of those great battles of elves and men fighting against orcs and hillmen, and Iarnur, the future king of the Dunedain, was the leader of the men. But she says there is where I fought, and there's most likely where Drameth fell.
So I'm going to take her hand,
Oh,
if I can,
okay.
and I'll just say I've lost a companion as well.
She seems to kind of snap out of her reverie again, and she looks down at you and she says, "Then you know how it feels."
I do.
So she looks at the rest of you and she says, "I go east now."
you have enough food and water to make it.
I believe so.
Oh, actually, we're going east, aren't we?
You are
Mhm.
indeed.
Yeah.
We are going east as far as Fornost, right?
Mhm.
As far as Fornost, if you would like us to accompany you.
Any aid you may provide in finding the remains of my friend, her spirit is unhoused. Her shade haunts the battlefield, and I must lay it to rest.
We can help you. And I'm like being very like
Oh, that sounds rough. Well,
Oh yeah! Wow.
Sorry
tough
about your luck,
break.
bud. Good luck.
Sorry. Sorry about it.
Melly, do you know how to lay a spirit to rest?
I can learn.
And if you say that, if Melly's like, I can learn, Helith will kind of turn and be like, you'll get used to that.
I feel like Oda's the only one that doesn't know anything about like the situation. Like, what?
Yeah.
Like, there was a battle. Like, are we?
Yeah. Wait.
Yeah.
What's going on?
1,000 years ago. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
We did not catch your name. I'm sorry.
Yes, of course. I am Nalian of Linden.
Okay.
Would that name ring a bell at all? Like, 'cause elves live god awful long times.
Yeah, I mean, if she was at this battle, she's at least 1,000 years old. So, All right. So you've picked up a traveling companion, a unhinged elf. But she seems harmless enough. So that was actually not.
What?
Huh? What?
What could go wrong?
What could go wrong? So that was actually not the event. That was just a thing that was bound to happen if you headed this way.
Uh-huh.
So I have to generate the treasure hoard that you found and figure out what the event is. So
Oh my
let's
God.
just get a roll there. I rolled to see who's going to make the roll. I came up with Scout. So Oda, please make me an explore roll.
Okay, yeah, I got it.
Yeah, great success.
Great success. All right. Okay, using a skill identified. Okay, okay, and then I have to roll was it ill-favored or favored? Let's see. You're in the Darklands. Yeah, ill-favored. Okay. Ill-favored. Feat die roll. Oh. Okay. Almost. You would have gotten a Gandalf rune. Sorry. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So you made your roll. That's good. So nobody gets any shadow points. Excellent. And all right. And then I just need to mark your fatigue, which is 2. All right. Good. All right. So I just needed to get that nailed down so that I knew where you guys were sitting at next time. So I guess that's 2 fatigue for everybody. Is that the idea there?
I think that's what it says here.
Mhm.
Yep.
Yeah.
And if all events additionally gain everyone in the company a certain amount of fatigue.
Okay. Cool. All right. So nobody gained any shadow, which is good, but you do
Yay.
gain 2 fatigue,
Boo.
and I will figure out your treasure hoard situation as well. And then we'll see what lies on the fields of slaughter as you make your way towards Fornost.
With that 2 fatigue, I'm now weary. This is going to be fun.
Oh, yay!
I've been through it.
Take a nap,
I mean, I
or-
believe it. Yeah.
Take off your armor. You'll stop being weary.
Yeah, just throw your armor away.
Yeah. Put it on your horse.
Oh my god.
Oh, the
Wow.
horses. Where are the horses?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Muffin.
We forgot about the horses, didn't we?
And Parsnip.
Well, you left them tied up at Numenor, so they would be with you again.
Okay, so Muffin
good
and
news.
Parsnip are with us again.
I think you left Parsnip back in the Shire wisely.
I did. All right.
Yeah. No, that was a good
Fun-
call. It was a
Fun
good
while it
call.
lasted.
Yeah. Well.
All right. Wow. Okay. So is that the end of our sesh?
That is the end of the sesh. So everybody gets 3 skill points and 3 adventure points.
Yay.
Well done, all. You took that thing out, and
Like it was nothing. That was so much easier on land.
yeah, as it turns out, all you need are fire and to get it on land, and it's
Yeah.
way easier.
Right. My God. So we got 3 adventure points and 3 skill points.
3 skill points. Yeah.
Nice.
We could add those ourselves, right? You're not gonna.
Yes.
Yeah. I can't do everything for you. I'm sorry.
Oh my
No, it's
God.
fine. I just didn't want to be doubling down on skill and adventure point.
Of course.
Nice.
Yeah.
Great game, everybody. Good
Yeah.
That
job.
was a good job.
Yeah. Really, really nice.
I feel like we avenged.
Mhm. I agree.
And there's absolutely no way this elf is going to become unhinged at exactly the wrong moment and try and stab
No.
somebody in the back.
Hey, let's see. We have time. We can work on her.
Totally hinged.
I'll
Hinged.
sing. I'll think
Absolute
she'll be
hinged.
completely hinged, but I'll
Yeah.
sing a song. I'll sing a song to hinge her.
There you go.
That's what I
Calm her
do. I
down.
just sing songs to cheer everybody up. Or
It's an important role.
it is very important.
It is
I know.
important. Absolutely.
It is. This is interesting. I've never played like intensive fantasy like this, and
Oh yeah.
and having like a very specific purpose to the party. Like it's just not something
like it.
I'm enjoying it. It's fun, but it's definitely new for me. So I'm like,
yeah.
A large part of this game is the journey rules, so it very much encourages you to decide on specific objectives A to B so that you can go and
Oh.
experience the things. And there's all
Okay.
kinds of random tables. Like what I like about this system is it's not just combat. Like when you're rolling for encounters, it's not just
mhm.
it's what type of random enemy group is it going to be. It's sometimes it's the sun came out and you all gained some hope back because it was a nice day to walk, and other times it's like, oh, there's cool ruins to look at or whatever. There's a variety of things that you can do, so it really enhances the whole idea of the crane or helicopter shot while the actors are walking across the hills of New Zealand kind of thing. 'Cause it's supposed to
Yeah.
encourage the travel montage.
Nice. I like
indeed.
that. Yeah, it's cool. It's been interesting. So
Yeah.
very good game. Good job, David.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, it
Thank
was
you.
great.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, absolutely.
Fun.
Yep.
Continue.
All right. Well, we'll do it again next week.
Yes.
All right, everyone. Take care.
Yeah, everybody.
In there.
Have a good one. See you next week.
All right.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye. I'd like to take a moment to thank all of our patrons, both past and present. And thanks, as always, to those of you backing us at priest level and above. This includes Jonathan Morgantini, Marley Griffin, James Gilbreth, Matt Reed, Hunt Cal, Jathar 132, Just Barbarian Things, Mika Turtianen, N.J. Colton, Ptolemy, and Vixen Lover 42.